How you doing? My name is George, Truck Driver Nation. So I've been having a lot of problems with people wanting owner operators. And the thing is, if you're coming aboard with us, whether you're actually going to come in as a student or you're a freight dispatcher with experience or you're a carrier, because we do truck driver recruiting and you're looking for actual owner operators, then what I did is I took all of the ways, the ones that everyone that now the ones that didn't work, I didn't use them, but the ones that worked, and they're going to be you're going to have to sign a non-disclosure confidentiality agreement for me to share this with you. The reason is once you get into it, and I know that you're saying, well, you want me to pay for something that you're not willing to tell me up front, what details are going to be in it. This is one of those things, it's going to be a surprise bag for you. But I can promise you this, you're not going to be disappointed. So if you really want to know how I source these owner operators, because everybody's like, well, why are you able to source them and I'm not? So what are you doing differently? Are you putting out tons of ads? I'm not even going to get into it when it comes to that. I teach the students inside Truck Driver Nation's freight dispatching course. I teach them how to source owner operators, absolutely. But I don't give them what I do because I'm sorry, but for what they're paying, they're not paying me much. I mean, we brought the prices way, way down in order to show them this. So we give them basics of where they need to start. Some of it is just going to have to be a learning curve to some degree. But that being said, I'm going to show you how to get to this. So, and go to truckdrivernation.com, go into the website, and go to course prices. When you go to course prices, you're going to scroll down. Just keep on coming down. You go through all this stuff. Keep going, keep going. And remember, you need to look at all these tools if you're going to go through here anyways, because there's a lot in here that really would be highly, uh, knowledge ain't bad. You know what I mean? So you really need to take a look at it because I build all this stuff and it's hard um, to remember what you did, when you did it, and to go back and bring it up to speed because I'm constantly updating this. So what you're going to go down to is called the owner operator sourcing secrets. This is where once you actually, because this is going to be a $750 charge for this, and it's got a $50 transaction fee because we use Square. Use Square. Actually, it's more than $50, but I don't know if we're going to put that all the way in there because I have to actually run it through Square to see what it is. But for $750, I think it's probably more like um, maybe more like 75 or 85 bucks. I don't know. But for right now, for this, I'm just going to leave it at 750 plus the $50 transaction fee because it ain't my choice. We make the money off of this, but they still have a transaction fee. And I can easily say, well, it's $800 and not tell you about the transaction fee. I just rather have everything transparent. But that being said, when you go into here, you're going to have to decide. You go in here, you pay for this, right? And this is no refund. Normally, I let you discuss it with me about refunds and no refunds, but this ain't going to happen in this one. This right here, if you figure out how to actually source owner operators outside of learning what I gave you, then you're doing good. Most people can't. But if you want to know how to actually get owner operators, and it's going to trip you out once I show you, um, it's just luck of the draw. I mean, I spend a lot of hours. I probably work more than anybody because I'm a workaholic. But that being said, that's the reason I built this. I was like, okay, people want to know, you're gonna have to pay for it because ain't nothing that's life for free. But I'm going to actually show you how I do it. And because I'm showing you how to do it, when you go in here, you'll actually sign in. Okay. But the thing is, you're going to have to do a mandatory webinar. So it's mandatory mentorship. I'm going to show you for 1 hour whether how many people's in there. Because remember, everybody signed a non-disclosure, confidentiality, no compete type of deal. So that being said, when we go in there in the actual mentorship, the webinar, I'm going to actually explain in detail, even though it has in detail there, right? There's some things that I'm going to have to actually, because you're going to have questions, that I'm going to explain in the more details to make sure you understand how to use this tool, okay, or this procedure, this method, you know, and I'll kind of leave it there because until you purchase it, I'm not going to sit here and give it away because I really had to fight with myself for a minute, and it took me a minute. Actually, it took me about 7 months to finally come up with. I settled it with myself, you know, put it out there, see what they do with it. You deserved to know because, I'm not trying to conquer the world to begin with, but I don't want to affect my business neither. But that being said, this right here will be worth its weight in gold to you. But remember, the contracts, we do stick with these contracts. So if you violate the contracts, uh, if you want to go battle it out in court, and I'm going to definitely, seek what's right because you're making an agreement with me. And when you signed it, I'm going to give you everything you ever wish for when it comes to this. And I've recruited for a lot of trucking companies. And you're going to be surprised about the industry itself that you'd have never thought that these are the things, unless you are one of those computer geeks. Okay. I'm not saying I am, but I've definitely, between the things that I've had in my courses, the things I've had being a truck driver recruiter, and all the students that I've come into contact who even have previous stuff, I have come up with a multitude of ways that actually kill it and it solves the problem. Because you can put out ads all day, put out ads all day. You're not going to get the results you think. I can promise you that. But anyways, I'm gonna kind of leave it at that. I just wanted to put this video in here so that way I'm actually gonna put this on YouTube. So this is public as well, but it's also gonna be inside the website. So if you want to watch a video, I think I'm gonna go back and put it in here somewhere so you'll have access to it right here. So anyways, if you have questions in general before you purchase this, definitely make sure to get a hold of me. And when you need it, right here up top, that TDN payment portal, TDN payment portal, you go there, you scroll down, and it's literally going to say owner operators sourcing secrets, the ultimate playbook to independent dispatchers and trucking companies. This is going to be for sourcing these owner operators. So you go in there, you pay for that. That comes through. We get the non-disclosure, confidentiality, all that stuff signed. Once you get that, you get the PIN, obviously, but then you're going to actually have to do the mentorship. You'll definitely get what I'm presenting to you, but after the fact, when I get done explaining to you, you're going in a combination of what you're already looking at, you're going to get the full picture, and you're going to never, ever have to look for owner operators again. This will solve that problem, that lingering problem that everybody has, but you've got to follow it. And we'll go through this, all the connections and everything. So to put the picture together for you, and you'll be grateful that you did it. But anyways, that being said, give me a call if you have any additional questions to that. Don't sit here and try to probe me for it because it's going to bother me because when I told you that this is something that I learned, nobody gave it to me, and all the different things, all the knowledge, the experiences, I kept notes on everything, everybody I've connected with and everything, and I'm giving it to you. And you can use it, however you want to, in the aspect of for yourself. That's the whole thing. No compete, no non-disclosure, confidentiality. So it stays with you to the day you die, as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, outside of that, I hope to hear from you. Make sure to go through the website, see what else we have to offer. But this is our Great Next tool that I finally sat down, had time to put together. And I'm going to edit it some more. There's some other things that I do have on my records I've got to pull out to make sure I got the correct data, connections, links, and everything to these factors that actually help this sourcing of the owner operators work for you. But anyways, I appreciate it. Everybody have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you soon.